So everybody say that again because that was good. Because you want to make sure that you're doing what now? You're the financer, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're telling you're financing the vehicle, and just be up on your codes. Uh, if the finance charges the sum of all charges.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to go in with codes because they're oblivious. I'm speaking Chinese to them if I go in there with that, unless I get
Wait,
to the manager. I just want to give them the
yeah,
principle.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to need them for the finance manager, or if
yeah,
Yeah,
you speak to the underwriter.
yes, because they know
right.
what they're doing.
Yeah, they'll know the term that you're using, but the
Yeah,
sales guy is not going to know any. You know what I mean?
and
Yeah, not
if
at
they
all.
mess with me, I'll just ask them, where are you getting this capital from? And if they
Correct.
can't answer, then I'll be like, give me your underwriter
Right.
because, you have nothing. You're giving this to the bank and the bank is going into my account and you're supposed to hand me this over, the car and the check, in which I'm confused on what the check is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be the interest?
In a way, because the bank does pay the interest, but that's supposed to be the sum of the entire vehicle.
I can't.
It's
What was that?
giving you the amount to purchase the vehicle with. That's what the check covers. But what the dealership does is convince you to sign a power of attorney. That way they get the check, and then you're pretty much paying back the check, if that makes any sense.
I can't. I
You
can't
do not
hear
get
you.
that. So he said what basically happens is they get you to sign over power of attorney, right? And they get the check, and then they give you back the loan to pay back the check. Is that essentially what you were saying, B?
Yeah, that's exactly.
See,
Yeah,
this is good. So now this like you for good. You said you're not into the codes, but I wouldn't even deal with the codes until you get in front of that financing person where you start signing things. Because I remember that when I got my Prius in 2018, my car broke down, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to get a car real quick." I didn't care anything. I just signed everything, and just I was out of there in like 2 hours, maybe. But if I would have went in there knowing these codes before I started signing things, I'd be like, "Wait, so where are the funds coming from?" You start asking them questions; they can't answer it. You might not walk out with the car though, so you got to know. You got to know how to back yourself up with the codes so they can't swindle you.
yeah, I got that. Who is the bank? Who is borrowing the money? It's 12 USC 1431, and it's the finance. The sum of all charges. I'm not paying the finance charge. I'm not paying the insurance because this document is already insured by the bank for the face value of it, and that's 15 USC 1605. So, I mean, I know the codes. I am the creditor. 1602.
Right.
Uh, I'm gonna, throw that all that stuff at them if I need to, but I don't like doing it because they're like, I don't know what you're talking about because I've done it with my credit card, and they're like, I don't understand. Well, of course you don't.
Well, of course, because they're not going to agree to any of that because they're trying to make
Exactly.
money off of you.
Exactly.
But you know what's going on. And if you,
Yes.
I'm sorry, ma'am, if you don't know what's going on, who can I talk to above you that does know going on? You know?
Yeah. Yes.
And if you
Because
don't
I
know what's
can.
going on, like how are you in position? How am I signing the papers? You're not signing any of these papers, right?
Right. Right.
This is good too because like my mom is like 82, so I pretty much drive her everywhere she needs to go, and like her car is all broken down, and I'm doing the whole right to travel thing. So when I'm with my mom, I don't want to be getting pulled over. You know what I mean? So I want to go get a reliable car, so I can drive her around. So
Well,
this is good because I'm going to be doing this too. right?
Yeah, because I'm under the impression of everything that I've learned. I couldn't believe I've been doing this since September of 2022, getting all this information and really never putting it to use yet. That I can walk in there with nothing, no driver's license, no insurance, no, because I'm going to bond the car after they, sign it over. Going to go right down to the Secretary of State and put a bond out on it. I don't need the license. I don't need to register because that's all the sum of all charges.
Yes, yes, right, exactly. And it's all on that loan agreement, or excuse me, on the contract that you sign that actually turns into the actual note.
Because they're not loaning me money.
They're not.
No, I'm borrowing my own money.
Well, yeah, you're borrowing your what's happening is you're extending yourself the credit. See, that's the thing. You can't just extend yourself credit. You got to have some sort of a middleman to get the credit from.
Right.
And they know that part. That's why, look, anything that you sign up with that that's meaning anything, your utility bill, your driver's license, your bank account, everything, they need your social.
That's all they're going to get because anything other than that is personal information, private personal information. You're not going to get my income. They don't
Right,
need
but
it.
I really think that when you go to these jobs and you give them your social, they're not getting the money out of the employer. Like, I don't know how that works.
Oh yeah, they are. Oh yeah, they are. That's another
Yeah,
thing
they
too.
doing the same thing.
They do the same thing.
This is what I'm
I'm
saying. So, like, is the employer paying you out of your social?
yes.
I mean, if
Uh,
that is true,
Yeah.
that would blow the lid off of everything.
well, here, get this. I'm under medical leave from my work since October 8th. I am unable to get benefits from unemployment because they still consider me employed. And I'm not even considered going back to work until the doctor said in March. So they're considered me employed and they're still taking money out of my Social Security for whatever they need to.
Mm. But how do they do that if you're not actually working,
Exactly. Because
right?
there's a difference. There's an employee and there's a worker.
Mm-hmm.
And they're considering the employee being still employed. I mean, just like you're an employee of your credit card or you're employee of your gas bill or whatever, you're employed by them.
Like, yeah, I will never be an employee again. Like, if I have to work, I do like 1099 or whatever, because an employee, if you look it up in the tax code, an employee is a taxpayer, you know what I mean? Employee is a commercial entity, so every time you sign up to be an employee, you're subject to their jurisdiction. It's all in
Well,
these words. Go ahead.
you're actually an investor in the company. If
Yeah,
you look
Ah,
through it,
stockholder. We're
yep, stockholder.
stockholders.
Yep.
right. I know it was something like the employee, it means something. It's not just like you're a worker or you're what you think the employee is and the
Exactly.
employer is.
Yep.
It's so crazy, man. This is so crazy. And it's kind of like frustrating too, just to find out how you've been swindled. But yeah, I think what we can do, because I know Burnell got a lot of codes on this, because I want to do it too.
So I froze my account because I'm dealing with my credit card and the TransUnion, they won't take the hard inquiries off from, I mean, I've done everything, sent them to CFPB, called them. And so I just said, fuck it, I need to have this frozen. I froze my credit so I can go in and get a car and say, you're not allowed to run my credit. All you need it for is what class to put it in
Hmm.
and what risk factor.
Well, apparently the credit report is illegal anyway.
Yes, yes, it's all. Yeah,
Right.
when it comes right down to it. And you don't need a driver's license. You can Google it to buy a car. So you're not getting my driver's license either. I'm not going to go and register it at the DMV. So you know, just give me
Right.
the keys. And then after 72 hours, I believe it is,
Mhm.
that's the part where I am not lost, but I need to know the procedure and what forms to send them to say that. Because evidently they're not going to give you the
The title.
the disclaimers.
Yeah, you're gonna rescind the contract and you're gonna send
Yeah.
a certified mail to the CFO of that company.
Yes. Yes.
But if you rescind the contract, isn't the contract a note?
No, you're
No.
actually rescinding the I can't think of the term of it, but I will say the securities of the agreement. So because like we just discussed that it's really that loan that they made you take on after they signed over the check. So you're rescinding that part of the contract
Right. Okay, good.
because it's
It
already
comes with
paid
the
for
loan.
once
The
it's already
loan,
paid for.
right. Exactly. And whatever the note is that you sign, it's that. And then there's the loan that they come up with, like with the power of attorney thing that you have to pay back this person when you funded the whole thing anyway.
Yeah. So and what I am thinking I got a visual of is I only have to sign one piece of paper. I don't have to sign a credit report for them to go check my credit report. They want you to sign that.
You are the credit.
Or yeah. There's another, I think the power of attorney, they want you to sign that and you say, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving my power of attorney to you.
Right.
And then if they say, well, you're denied, that is restraint of trade.
Right. So like that's what we're saying. So like when they deny, you gotta have all the relevant codes to say you can't deny it, and this is why. You know what I mean?
I don't think I have that code down here.
We can find the codes. It's just to me
Denial.
finding the codes is like a night's worth of. You can find like at least 2 or 3 and start there. You know.
Well, I got notes for when I walk in there in the office, and I got 15 USC 1635 consumer transaction, and the down payment is illegal. I don't have that code written on here.
So I
Yeah,
got. So
that'd
go ahead.
be 15 USC 1638 A2A.
15 USC 1638
Yeah, A.
A. Okay.
Yeah. So be charging a down payment where no cash should be included.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then ask them. I was going to ask them, so who's going to buy this? Who's going to buy this bond? Because they turn around and sell it. Do you know who's going to be the buyer of this? But
Well, it's going to be a bunch of them because it's about to get
yeah,
It's about to get traded on the stock market.
yeah. And just, I think that I was going to say that just to let them know, hey, I know what's going on.
Right, and that shakes them up. If you give them any inclination that you know what they're doing, see the thing is, if you do that, like I'm trying to figure out the checkmate because if you go in there and
Yeah,
you do that, you might not walk out with the car. They won't agree to move forward,
right.
right? So you might not walk out with the car, but there's probably ways you can do it where you go in there, you get a copy because you're supposed to get your copy of everything, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not talking like when I bought my Prius. They gave me like a digital copy. I said, no, next time I go in there, no, I need originals. You need to have your stack of everything I signed and your stack of everything. I
Yeah,
need originals.
I'm
And they don't
definitely
sign
going.
nothing. Huh?
Yeah. I'm definitely going in there recording and taking pictures.
Look, I got these glasses, right? It's the best way to do it is to do it where they don't know that they're being recorded, right?
Yeah.
I got these glasses and they got like a camera in them, and I just turn it on, and they have no idea I'm recording them, and they do whatever they do, um, because they don't feel restraint because they know they're not being watched, but they are,
Yeah. So here's another thing that crossed my mind, just to not deal with the denial, and having to convince them, just to do it flat out the plain original way. Just make sure I don't sign any other documents. And I heard that when they say they give you the application and they put an X and they say sign right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sign it. Well, that means that they signed it with that X, and you say, no, get me a new application. You just put your signature on there. I'm not going to be a co-signer.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I heard that too.
Yeah.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's some sneaky shit though.
Yeah. Because no signature is however you want it to be. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what they do. So that's what I was thinking. Just go in there and do that, and just go with the 72-hour clause and settle it from, there.
Right.
Put
Don't
a
sign
bond.
anything else but the note. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to do what you got to do to get the car and get out of there,
Yes.
and then take the steps afterwards to rescind everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I mean, as much stuff as I got going on, like I said, with my credit cards, they just charged off because they would not accept my coupon, my payment since April of last year.
For your credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I think what happens with credit cards is it's like in the agreement that you sign, they say they won't accept anything but US dollars, which are federally reserve notes, which are floating rate notes. You know what I mean? So I think that's where they get it in. But if you can get in before entering the contract with the credit card that, you can't stipulate any form of payment because there is no money. And there's codes for that too. But you have to be
Well,
able to amend the original contract before moving forward. And they also have to agree to it.
well, Joe says that this guy, he
Yep.
says
Yeah.
that they have to accept it. They say we only accept check, money order, or whatever they say, credit card payment. And which one did you send? I said, yep, that's what I sent, because it's all the same.
Right. Well,
You know,
the check is the same thing as the coupon.
exactly.
So like,
Yeah,
but
it says
And
that
they're,
the bill of exchange.
there what?
yeah.
Bills of
The bill of
exchange,
exchange
exactly.
act. Yeah.
What, ma'am? I don't know what you're talking about. What is that? What, you don't know? The bill of
Right.
exchange, 18/8/22. What?
Yep.
Let me talk
I
to your
gotta
supervisor. And they do the same thing.
well, they all hide behind without knowledge, because even in court cases, like you can demand someone else answer a set of questions. They either have to answer it, they have to deny it, or they can say that they're without knowledge. They always go with the without knowledge. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Then how the hell are
So,
you the head of financing department if you don't know what I'm talking about?
right. So I told them to send me it in writing, and this is my gas bill. And they literally said, we didn't accept your form of payment. So I turned them into the OCC.
Did they send it back?
Well, for bills, you look up 15 USC, 1602.
I
That
am the
should give,
creditor.
yeah, that should give you a clarification.
That's all you
But
need. I'm the
they do
creditor.
also say all roads lead to court, so you might have to put a breach of contract and file a
Right.
claim.
Well, what happens is they don't give you the notice in your packet, and this is what everybody's saying, the right to rescind. They leave that out, and that is breach of contract right there. That's default.
Well, it's
Um,
like to me, they probably hide behind ignorance of the law is no excuse kind of thing, right?
yeah. So that's the information that I need, is within that 72 hours to get that information to the dealer or well, I don't know. Is it the dealer? Is it the manufacturer? Get that information and say, whatever this, I got screenshots of people that have written letters or whatever, but just that process. And then it's free and clear. I don't have a license plate. I don't have registrations. I don't have insurance.
You get the
I
MSO,
don't have a driver's license. That's all. I don't need anything.
and if you do it right, you walk out of there with the MSO
Yes,
or the
and then
MCO.
that's another thing too. How do you get that freaking title for them to hand it right over to you, or do you have to go to right directly to the bank? I don't know which way to
Well,
go.
the thing is, if you purchase the car by extending your credit to finance the car, right? Then the title should go to you. And if they
Exactly,
don't
right?
want to, right? So if they don't want to ask or they don't want to answer that question, like first of all, I'm asking, do you have the title? Where's the MCO? I'd like the MCO before I purchase or I sign anything. Like they're gonna hide behind the fact that an MCO, oh, I don't know what that is. The manufacturer certificate of origin, man. Every car has one. This is a dealership. You don't know that? Like form everything as a question. Like people go in stating things. And if you're stating things, you're making claims. You don't want to make any claims. Just ask some questions. The MCO, I believe, is the manufacturer certificate of origin, man. This is a dealership. Don't you know that? Question mark. See what she says. How are you the head of financing and you don't know what the MCO is? See what he or she says, and they're gonna fucking fumble over their words.
Yeah.
Like Burnell, you saw that when I contacted the court about my court record and she was fumbling and I was like,
Oh yeah,
wow,
that was funny. That was funny.
wow. I'm getting more stuff like I'm gonna make a post on that. Like I haven't made a post in like a week and a half because I've been going through the trenches with everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
that, yeah, that's the thing. If they threaten you, I'm not going to give you the title. You have to go register your car. Oh, wait a minute. This don't sound right. You're
Oh, right.
threatening, you're threatening me to have my property taken away by registering it? No. Well, the
Right.
only thing about that is you can't drive the car off the lot. And I'm thinking, well, I can push it across the street where you don't see me. Well, I think they want you to get it towed off.
Hmm. That's a good point. They probably won't let you drive the car off.
Yeah.
And like what I've heard is when they get you to register it, 'cause it's all about liens, right? Because they put you get this quote unquote, hold on, turn my video on. They get you this quote unquote loan that the quote unquote bank owns or you owe to this bank or whatever. They take that lien, they turn it into a lien, and they send that lien down to the state in order to register the car. But after a certain amount of days, they lift the lien because obviously the lien's been settled by the note that you signed that turned into the promissory note that paid for the entire transaction, right? They lift the lien. So it's like sometimes you can just go on and file a UCC 11 to see if you owe anything on that car or if there's a lien out, and you won't find it because they can't hold the lien after, I think it's 7 days or something like that, 30 days or something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's 30 days.
the DMV holds for 21.
Oh,
There you
21
go.
days.
Yeah.
There you go. And then after that, the
So
lien's lifted.
yeah. See the method I was gonna use, I was just gonna get them to, just do it the regular way. Rescind the contract in 2 days. And then uh the next day you send a instructed letter to the CFO, certified mail, on that you want to add the insurance and life insurance to the finance charge.
Well, I was gonna do that right at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna load it up, give me
Yeah,
the full warranty on this thing, give me, gas
'cause
credit card, you put it right on there,
yeah,
everything,
'cause it says that the finance charge is the sum of all charges.
all
So,
charges, yeah,
yep, and then you make sure you tell them like any add-on fees you don't want it, because if it's be able to add on, you should be able to take it off. So that's why the price of the card jumps so high, because they add on extra things to get that uh the full value of the application.
right. And as far as the bond goes, that for me would be just so the repo man can't come and take it. Because there's a bond on it.
I mean,
Right.
even if the repo man tries, all you have to do is record them and tell them, and you can sue the tow company, because
Because
it's a
don't they,
third party. It's a third
yeah,
party entity. They don't have any jurisdiction to even, because you didn't sign a contract with them. Because it's a third
exactly.
party, then they're held reliable.
When you go to the police department and say your car's been stolen.
Yeah, they don't
If
have
they
an
may not,
interest in it.
yeah. When they need a warrant, I think.
They would need some sort of something to take your property, especially if you walked out of there with the MCO.
Right.
This is good. I think we what we could do is come up with all the codes that we came up with today. We got to come up with a game plan. See, like I was gonna have a one-on-one with this guy who knows all this stuff. But damn, I learned a lot in this one little session. I'm gonna aggregate everything that we came up with because I'm gonna turn it into a dealership cookbook. You know what I mean? People could just go in and you read from the script. Read from the script because a lot of people ain't good with just coming off the top of the head with it. But if you got a little script in a cookbook, and the cookbook is just gonna have little recipes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I got written down. I got little words that'll, bring up a conversation, like just like whose capital paid for this property?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That
What's
would be
the
that would be a recipe, and the recipe will be consistent of codes that support it and an explanation of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and what's the maximum preset on this application? Because, every single number that's on that application, if it's added up, it should amount to what the car is worth. And
Mhm.
that's what they're going to sell it on.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the preset that you have? I know it's not what you're selling it to me for.
Mm-hmm. And that's not full disclosure, is it?
No.
So it wouldn't be a binding contract anyway. And if you got it on film in a court in the world, that can go against you. Like there's got to be a way that we can go into these meetings and record it to where they don't know they're being recorded. That's how you get them. This undercover shit. They do it to us all the time. Why can't we do it to them?
Yeah, and another thing I got written down here, when reading your contract, uh, pay attention to you or your and
Right.
who they're talking to.
Right.
This is their contract to you.
Who
They're
is you?
writing this contract up. Or is it the other way around?
Ah, right. The trickery, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. When they say you, does that mean the dealer? You have to do this? Yes, it does.
Wow. Wow, that's fucking crazy. So when are you planning on going in and trying this out for good?
Um, Very soon, because like I said, my transmission is going out and I can barely get it, to the store and back. So I got to go in probably within the next 10 days. I got to go
Okay.
up for a
This is
wedding.
this is something I want to follow up with because it's something I want to do myself. You know what I mean? And this is what we're
Yeah.
here for. We're here for building, networking, and sharing information and becoming whole as a people.
Yeah. And like
But
I said, I've been doing this since September 2022. And God dang it, I should know this. I should
Don't
be
worry
able to
about it.
go in there and do
Don't
it.
worry about it. Don't
yeah,
worry about it. It's real hard. Burnell, you have something to say?
I've been practicing with like the cars, the companies that deliver, like Driveway Auto, and hold on.
Right. I think what he's saying is like, what's the one Carvana or something like that where they just, but the thing that probably be hard because you got to do all that online and there's no documents right in front of you, you know?
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I gotta
I ain't
look
doing
at the
that
guy's
either.
eye.
There was a case this morning, that I tried to join as a witness, and it's so crazy because the amount of the lengths that they go through, right? Because like to say like Carvana, for instance, right? It's all online. You gotta follow these predefined steps. All those steps get you as the person who's liable for everything. And it's the same thing with these Zoom cases. Like they're muting her. They're using technology against her. She can't speak on a record. All this stuff. Like, fuck that.
Oh,
Let's get back to the pen and paper, you know?
All right, I'm back. No, what I was saying is with like the online, you actually can go in and go to the chat and get the underwriter or the finance manager's information. Then you call them because I got approved for 2 loans, but I was so big headed. I'm like, nah, I want to get what I came for because the car was 53,000, and the finance that I went through said I was approved. They didn't tell me how much, but I know I only applied for that one car. So when it went back to Driveway, they were like, "Oh yeah, you're approved, but we want this amount down." And they was like, "We're gonna approve you for 20,000, so you should get a smaller car." I'm like, "No, I don't want a smaller car." So it works to an extent, but you do have to do some pushback.
Right. But you got to know how to push back though.
Yeah, but no, she know her codes, so I believe she will have success.
Okay.
yeah.
It's all about reaching the right person.
You had said 1638A for down payment. I got down here 1662B, no down payment.
They're probably both the same. Just coming from
Probably.
different angles. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
coming from different angles.
yeah, charging a down payment where no cash should be uh, included is a violation
And then I
or
got, yeah,
misrepresentation.
I got down here, need full disclosure for personal use for household. And
Yeah.
then I have file UCC 1 and 3. So is that what you do after the 70 or in between the 72-hour clause? Right to rescind?
Yeah, the right to rescind. I got, did you say 15, 16, 35? And 1691 is a false deceptive forms. So
Well,
because they
what was the false
false
deceptive
and
form?
deceptive forms, 15 USC 1692. Then 15 USC 1662B is cash with consumer credit transaction.
Right, yes.
And then to really scam, 15 USC 1640A, that tells you each violation that comes with them, them not granting you the
1640A?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's gonna do that's the violation. So once they realize that you can take them to court, they usually give you some leniency.
Yeah, but yeah. If they threaten to take you to court, that's after the 72 hours. So I'm just worried that they're going to try to come get the car. I was going to put it in a different address at my parents' house, and I live 200 miles away. So it would
Well,
take them a while.
don't get rid of the old car. If you can fix that mug up, so you know you have that as a backup. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I thought about that. I was going to drive it up to my parents' house. And if it died on the expressway, I was just going to leave it, take the plates off and leave it. Because, I mean, it's not worth anything. Someone can have it.
I see. I understand.
Yeah. And then, or just do the installments and get that straightened around with get them to accept the payments as they're supposed to be accepted and not have to deal with all this repo and, worried about that and filing UCC. I just can't stand it. I
Right,
believe
that
there's
might be
an
a better approach.
yeah, I just believe there's an easier way to do this to get around them
Well,
fools.
all of them offer payoff, right? So if you want to just pay it off, right? And then when you want to pay it off, then send them the negotiable instrument or the bill of exchange and go
And
through it that route.
And that's another thing I got from Joe too, with the money orders that you can get $1,000 up to $1,000 one, and you can pay $1 for it, and then you
Yeah,
write in the negotiation that accept this as my payment.
right? There's all kind of ways, but it's like they're not going to accept it because every dollar that you pay into it goes, I want to say, as a contribution into whatever bonds they got set up, and it just inflates the bonds and makes it more valuable because you're performing on the bond, right? And that's what they want, so they can trade it and make money, and they probably get like 100 times as what the original whatever the original principle was for the transaction. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but these money orders, that's federal, that's money. That's federal money. If they say that they lost it or destroyed it, they're dealing with
Felony
destruction
charges.
of federal government property.
Felony charges. Yep. Just like I
Yeah,
told
So
us. Go
it's
ahead,
a few
Brunel.
ways to skin it. It's a few ways to skin a cat. But
Exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
So what do you boys think? You think that just easiest way is just doing the installments and having to deal with them with the paperwork?
yeah, that or even if you give a down payment, you can once you rescind the contract, you get the down payment back because you'll be claiming all unearned interest. And that's considered unearned interest because you already paid with your social security number.
Right.
And
This
then
is good.
I
Guys,
I would
can I
take I
go
would
ahead,
take the
Brunel?
first
Sorry.
bill. No, no, I would take the first bill and send an endorsed instructions with the first bill to the CFO, which would and a copy of your durable power of attorney. So you get the durable power of attorney over your government name, and you're going to start performing on that account. Because if like any other bill, all bills are already paid. That's why they
Correct.
come positive. So you just instruct the CFO to credit the account, and any other instructions, adding on everything to the finance charge. And with your durable power of attorney, he's have no choice but to accept that payment.
Now, when you say power of attorney, that's you. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the,
So
yeah,
yeah, right. You're getting a durable power of attorney over your two name, uh, your government name. So
Mm-hmm.
when you do that, you're gonna act as the agent with your three names. So it'd be your last name, semicolon, first name, dash, middle initial. That's gonna be the agent. And the
right.
principal is gonna be your first name, last name in all caps.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, guys, let's have a follow-up to this. Um, same way
Yes.
we do, same way, Burnell, same way we do. Let's talk about it. And because I'm not at home right now. So like when I get home, I get my monitors and I get my keyboard. We can draft up a cookbook. And before you go in for good, because we're gonna follow your case, right?
Yeah,
We'll come up with a little cookbook, 2, 3 pages, to where you could go in there, and then if she says that, you got something to rebut it. If she says this, you got something and refer to the script. Fuck that.
yeah.
Excuse my language. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Because I get passionate about this because it's like they're stealing from us.
Yeah. And that's what I believe. We were born this way. I don't understand why we have to do the paperwork. They have to be doing it themselves. We're just the money holders and they want it. So
We're the-
why should,
We are the credit. That's why they
yeah,
want your signature. Your signature,
yeah,
your sign of nature gives the document credibility.
we give it life.
We give it life. Thank you. We bring it from the dead. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
As the
'Cause
living, we
without
bring the document to life. Sorry,
And
Bruno.
as the living, we shouldn't have to do this paperwork.
no, it's true. Because without us, the transaction can't even happen. They can't even
Yeah.
go get
Exactly.
the funds.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. So why are you denying me, a profit for your company just because you think my credit isn't good enough?
Your credit is
when
good.
Yeah.
they're still taking the funds. Just because they
Right.
deny you, don't mean they're not taking the funds. They still
That's
go
just
cash your application into the Federal Reserve and get those the securities.
Well,
right.
they might deny me if they see that my credit is frozen.
They can't. Well, oh, I see. Yeah, because you froze your credit report.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing
Well,
is,
while it's frozen, you can still call them and hit them with the right code. You go through Experian and dispute. If you have I got a little paragraph. I used to get a couple things off my credit. I got a one secured credit card taken off and uh, another negative account that I had with Credit One. So it's just all about saying the right words. And then you follow
mhm.
up the CFPB and put a complaint and the BBB. People forget about the Better Business Bureau. 2 complaints from those, they would take them off.
Yeah, because I just have one sheet of paper that's a cheat sheet for me with the pertinent codes that are relevant.
Can you share that?
Yeah, well, how would you like me to send it? I could take a picture of it.
Oh, it's handwritten.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the
I
Because
best
we
mean,
way
could
to do
turn
it.
it, we could turn
Handwritten.
it into the courtroom cookbook. We can doctor it up with everything that needed, and then you go in there with a printed out sheet, maybe a folder of everything you needed. You can flip through it. You know what you need to do, and you don't feel like so naked when you go in there.
hmm
And I want to do it because I'm going to be doing it for my mother. So
yeah,
Yeah, that's why
I'm
I
with
say
this too,
practice with
right?
the small car lots because all of them are still participating in the Truth in Lending Act. So
Exactly.
that's why I go to the small ones, get my feet wet, and then that's when I try CarMax and Driveway.
Mm, mm.
And then when I really master it, I'm gonna go to Chevy, get my Corvette.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, brother. All right,
yeah. Because
so
when you
let's
walk in, your application is a contract because it's supposedly between you and the dealership.
Right.
correct.
Well, once you sign it, then it becomes a bond, right?
Yes.
Because there's 3 people
Yep.
or
3-3.
more or 10 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, I gotta get off now, but I'm gonna set up a follow-up meeting for this so we can go through and we can start drafting um something that we could take into the dealership so we can have more confidence going in there and being able to respond to their rebuttals and all of that stuff.
For
Are
sure.
you
Yeah.
guys are you guys
Good.
good with that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good. Keep in touch. Yes.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
about maybe this weekend, Saturday, when people are more free and that like the work thing is not there and da 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 da.
Yeah. Longest is early because my son's birthday today, so we're gonna go out probably Friday or Saturday. But I'll keep
Yeah.
you posted.
When
All right, so we-
I'm on leave of absence from work, so I'm home all the time, just studying my butt off.
All right. Well, I need Burnell there too, because this guy's my head research guy. You know what I mean? This guy knows what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I'll follow up with an email and see what's a good time for us to get through, and let's put together maybe 1 or 2 pages of everything that all the knowledge. It might be 5 pages. Who knows? We'll come with a little cookbook. So when you're ready to go down there for good, you can have this cookbook with you, and what they say you can rebut.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
And
for
then,
sure.
you know what I mean? Does that sound like a good idea to you guys?
It sounds awesome.
All right,
That's-
cool. I'll facilitate that, guys. I'm gonna make sure that we talk maybe because I got maybe Sunday morning would be good or something like that. I don't know.
Sure.
We'll figure
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
probably better because
Yeah.
Sunday school's the next day, so he's gonna be probably kid free.
All
And
right.
I'll take a picture of my little cheat sheet. And do you mind if I send it in your email, reply to your email? And
That's fine. That's fine. And
Okay.
I'll take it from photo form and put it down on digital so we can, we can doctor it up.
Yeah,
Okay, guys?
sounds good.
Sounds good.
All
Forgot,
right.
I love you. Burnell, I love you, man. Y'all
Awesome.
All right, you're same here, brother. You take it easy.
yeah, man. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.